banning its products. And in sports, a strong start for Bulemezi Mawokota in Butikiro Group 2021 Masaza Cup.
Was brought to you by Everywhere You Go, MTN.
Hello there and welcome once again. We are glad that you have chosen UBC TV as your channel of choice. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. Elizabeth Nakakoni is on sign language and I am Rukidi Edward Kiijanangoma. We begin this bulletin in Kayunga District, where President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has rallied people of Kayunga to support the NRM candidate Andrew Muwonge in the Kayunga Local Council 5 by-elections slated for Thursday this week. During the campaign rallies, President Yoweri Museveni warned the NRM supporters in the district against disunity, noting that the party interests are bigger than individual interests. And as Philip Aguta reports, disunity and intrigue have been identified as some of the challenges facing the NRM party support in the district.
The last day of campaign rallies in Kayunga District chairperson's race have been heated up this Tuesday, mainly between the NRM candidate Andrew Muwonge and that of National Unity Platform Harriet Nakwade. President Museveni, in a scientific campaign, joined the NRM candidate in drumming up support at Kayonza Church of Uganda Primary School in Kayunga District, where he met party leaders from village to district level. Museveni cautioned the party supporters against the hypocrisy and disunity that has been seen as the biggest challenge facing NRM.
Mubuze kubanga bo bonna tewali asobola kukola kintu kyonna wano mu Uganda ye ng'omuntu ebibiro bye twazimba. He
also discouraged the party supporters on in-house party fights, but instead work on the interest of the party.
To bring to go from the party because of individuals is a big mistake.
Nolwekyo okuva mu kibiina n'ogenda nga kinoomu nsobi nnene.
It is confused. It is confusion.
Such similar concerns over disunity and intrigue among the party supporters were also raised by the party Secretary General Richard Odwong.
Is 90% NRM. But because of the division among leaders, we end up confusing our votes on the ground. Dear leaders of the party, let us reconcile. Let us speak the same language. Let us love our party. If you love this yellow you are wearing, check your heart and reconcile with one another.
The president pledged the construction of Kayunga Galiraya Road to supplement existing developments like electricity, road networks, and the Simba Dam Bridge that connects Kayunga to Kamuli District.
Banyabo ne basebo, amanya nze Muwonge Andrew. Muwonge Andrew nzali wa Galiraya, atenga nkulidde mu Kayunga wano. Muwonge Andrew, mwampa akaluke NRM.
So no relations mbasaba muwagire omuntu wa NRM ku lw'ensonga nti NRM kyekibiina ekikebedde ebizibu by'abantu baffe.
During the campaigns, the president issued over 1,000 land titles to reduce perpetual land wrangles in the district. The by-election resulted from a death of the former district chairperson, and voting is slated for Thursday this week. Philip Aguta, UBC News in Kayunga.
for that report there. And of course, President Yoweri Museveni there in Kayunga rallying support for the NRM candidate in the Thursday LC5 chairman by-elections. Vice President Major retired Jessica Alupo has called upon all presidential advisors in the country to work in cohesion given their rich and diverse speciality in various fields of dispensation to enable the presidency execute its duties as required by the law. She was opening the first retreat for presidential advisors at the National Leadership Institute, Kyankwanzi. The retreat provides them opportunity to interface on presidential matters and share experiences for the good of the country. We have more in this report.
Vice President Jessica Alupo urged the presidential advisors to take keen interest in their roles and responsibilities because President Yoweri Museveni and the government value them greatly, given their immense exposition and diverse experience in life and knowledge, hence putting them as part of management of government affairs on a day-to-day basis. The Vice President therefore said the retreat is timely and will deeply enable them execute their roles and responsibilities in tandem with the current trends of government programs that are under implementation.
At the inception of this cabinet, which we are serving now, His Excellency the President highlighted 5 strategic and fundamentals that all of us senior leaders should always put at our front in whatever we are doing. And I would like you to allow me to share with you those strategic fundamentals. One of them is cohesion, then patriotism, service delivery, zero tolerance to corruption, and regional integration. When you diversify or scrutinize those 5 fundamentals, you will realize that we are required to work as a team always. Work as a team as presidential advisors, work as a team as cabinet, work as a team as RDCs, work as a team as NRM cadres, work as a team as government. And when we work as a team, work becomes very simple and we achieve the outcomes and the objectives which we plan to achieve. So I would like to encourage presidential advisors to work as a team. First as presidential advisors, but also with other ministries, departments, and agencies of government, including the private sector. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to declare the orientation retreat for presidential advisors and presidential assistants open for God and my country. Thank you.
The week-long presidential advisors retreat, organized by the technical team of the Directorate for Manifesto for the Presidency, has drawn together senior presidential advisors, senior presidential assistants, serving in different fields of their competencies, according to the wisdom of the appointing authority. Dressed in military fatigue, despite the fact that they are senior citizens of the country, these presidential advisors said they are always ready to respond to their early morning drills. Etole Edi Archangel, UBC News. Reporting from National Leadership Institute, Kyankwanzi District.
Thanks, Etole Archangel, for that report. To Kayunga District once again, where police has fired live bullets and tear gas to disperse supporters of NUP's Harriet Nakwede ahead of the final campaign trail. The incident followed an earlier warning by the Electoral Commission to the NUP camp ahead of President Yoweri Museveni's campaign rally for the NRM candidate in the area.
She did confirm, she said it's okay, she will respect the decision and give chance to the president of the country, but she still added that she can't be in control of her party. So that's the contradiction. But at least they are aware, the Honorable is aware, and I requested her to inform her team not to come to the town council. So that one, we agreed. So we expect them at least to comply.
What later could attract dramatic scenes, NUP candidate for Kayunga LC 5 chairperson's race, Harriet Nakwede, opted to go against the Electoral Commission warning, refraining her from not holding a campaign rally on the day scheduled for the national chairman of the NRM party, President Yoweri Museveni, to campaign for the NRM candidate in the hotly contested race in Kayunga. Nakwede, who was flanked by Mityana Municipality MP Francis Zakebutebi, insisted on carrying on her campaigns. Though all started well as they set off from the NUP party offices in Kayunga, along the way they were intercepted by the untrained police. NUP candidate Nakwede opted to defy the EC standing orders in a situation that projected brewing tension. The anti-riot police could not take chance but to fire off tear gas canisters to disperse the crowds.
You disperse them! Fire another one!
For close to 3 hours of running battles, business was at a standstill in Kayunga Central Business Area. Finally, Uganda Police, with the assistance of the Presidential Guard Brigade, literally known as SFC, restored peace for the NRM National Chairman, also President Yoweri Museveni, to have uninterrupted drive-through to the designated point to campaign for the NRM candidate. I'm Robert Onyango and Shaidat Nasako for UBC News in Kayunga District.
That's what happened in Kayunga earlier today. Now to matters pertaining to the Ministry of Education. The Ministry of Education and Sports under the Emergency Response Project has trained 14,353 head teachers in public primary schools and 131 deputy head teachers in secondary schools on preparedness ahead of the much anticipated reopening of schools in January 2022. Now, while opening the Education, Sports and Skill Development Review, State Minister for Higher Education, John Chrysostom Muyingo, said they embarked on inspection of schools and supported renovation of dilapidated structures to ensure a conducive environment for learning students. Farida Nafka with a report.
The Ministry of Education and Sports is reviewing its sector performance for 1st July 2020 to 30th June 2021 and set priorities for 2022-23. In the period under review, through the school facility grant, it boasts of having constructed 342 new classrooms, 44 teachers' houses, and lined up 1,411 VIP latrine stands in 174 local governments. With the challenge of COVID-19, the ministry, under the Emergency Response Plan, availed a conditional grant of 12,472 public primary schools to support the implementation of SOPs.
COVID Emergency Education Response Plan, we were also able to support 1,284 secondary schools with funds to support implementation of the SOPs to the tune of 1.5 million each. And this was mostly to support small hand wash facilities and sanitizers and so forth.
Under Access and Quality, the ministry printed and distributed over 2.6 copies of home study materials for P5 to P7 learners in 28,931 private and public primary schools.
School health and HIV/AIDS in education. We're also able to train a total of 945 teachers from 13 districts on school health, child marriage, gender-based violence, sexual reproductive health and rights, and formation of school health clubs.
The Minister of State for Higher Education, John Chrysostom Muyingo, delivering the Minister for Education message, said schools are to reopen on January 10th, 2022, and the ministry is carrying out inspection.
That we need in the schools when we reopen is that environment that is conducive to learning, that is attracting the child to continue wanting to go to school. This will require that this necessitates even revamping and reconstructing some of the structures. Government is providing some money that will enable schools, public schools, to facelift, to put on a new face, a good-looking.
The coordinator, Education Development Partners, said stakeholders need to be flexible in adapting approaches to deliver education, emphasizing prioritizing safe reopening of schools.
We must ensure that schools are able to provide a safe environment for our children. Prevention measures, surveillance and effective case management must now become the staples of the syllabus alongside traditional subjects. Support will be needed by all actors at all levels to effectively implement COVID SOPs, and resources must be mobilized.
Meanwhile, Muyingo has launched an electronic learning platform that will avail learning material for English and mathematics subjects as pilot for continuity of learning even as schools reopen. I'm Nafka Farida and Stephen Kalisia at Kololo.
Now, the jailed 7 staff of Tropical Bank Kampala branch who are accused of defrauding a Libyan diplomat, Abdurrazak El Marabet, of $1 billion shillings have been granted cash bail totaling to 42 million Ugandan shillings. Anti-Corruption Court Grade 1 Magistrate Abata Simwe allowed their application but warned each of them not to interfere with investigations, saying their bail will be cancelled.
The 7 have spent 6 days in Chigo and Chitaria prisons after denying charges of causing financial loss and conspiracy to defraud their employer, which they faced last week on Wednesday. The court has ordered Kagwa Michael, a sales officer, to pay 3 million shillings cash bail and deposit his passport. Anguni Brian, a customs service officer, has been ordered to pay 6 million shillings. Nachanze Aisha Katongole, the senior compliance officer, to pay 7 million shillings. Imran Sadiq Hussein, the bank relations officer, to pay 6 million shillings. Baiga Sarah Kachamia, the branch operations supervisor, 7 million shillings. Nabonyene Abdu, the operations branch manager, 7 million shillings. And Jana Zainab Ntaro, chief teller, 6 million shillings. The magistrate also ordered their sureties to sign a non-cash bond of 30 million shillings each and ensure that the accused persons report back to court on 11th January 2022. Prosecution led by State Attorney David Mogamba from the Office of the DPP says investigations in this case are still incomplete. It is alleged that in November this year, 2021, at Tropical Bank Kampala branch, all the 7 accused persons, while in performance of their duties, conspired to defraud their employer when they irregularly processed a payment of 1 billion shillings, paying it to a one Nabona Margaret, who posed as the widow to the still living Libyan diplomat Abdurrazak El Marabet, without following the bank procedure and well knowing that their actions would cause financial loss to the bank. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
To the Rwenzori sub-region now, where stakeholders in Rwenzori sub-region are concerned with increasing cases of early marriages and teenage pregnancies as the country nears a reopening of schools in January 2022. Reports from different districts indicate that cases of incest have also increased since the closure of schools in 2020-2021 education calendar.
In 2020, 120 were were defined by biological parents.
This 17-year-old, name withheld, is a victim of rape and was impregnated by her auntie's husband.
Data
from Kasese District Health Office from 128 health centers
And we do apologize for the glitch in that report there, but we shall be bringing it when it is ready. Moving on, the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries intends to regulate all agricultural products prior to making any export. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Major General David Kasura, says unregulated organic exports taint the image of Uganda on the regional and international markets.
It is now 3 years since the government of Uganda allocated 30 billion Ugandan shillings in the national budget to Makerere University through the Research and Innovation Fund. So far, 711 innovations have been invented. Most of these innovations intend to add value on agricultural produce. The Permanent Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, Major General David Kasura, inspected some of these innovations.
We have a whole department, a whole commissioner, whose work is to ensure that there is nobody who puts on the market any of these fake things.
Kasura has committed to securing market for Ugandan agricultural produce. The ministry is also intending to examine all agricultural produce before going to the foreign market, as substandard produce taints the image of the country.
Those who take insenene, those who take things outside, that you must have a certificate from MAIF, from the Ministry of Agriculture. And this is the reason. Because through this movement of material, organic material, you could send bad things outside.
Makerere University has appealed to government for a special fund to commercialize these innovations.
We are going to just transform some of our buildings, including the building we have in the town there, and then we have the brains are here. We have those tools. That's the important thing. We'll need a little money for these people to be able to survive and so on. And that's the only thing for which we are appealing to government. Just like they gave us money just for research, they could now create a fund for business incubation.
These innovations by the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences are focusing on ensuring food security through modern farming practices.
You may think that all is well with the farmer, but there is a large volume of this size that the farmer never brought to the market. These are like rejects.
Among the 711, 79 are from the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, and all these innovations are funded by the government through Makerere University Research and Innovation Fund. Nwasasira Isabella, Nasilu Wama, UBC News.
The People's Republic of China has officially handed over food items to support the United Nations World Food Programme's school feeding program. The program will ensure primary and secondary school students in Karamoja sub-region have access to food as schools remain closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
The State Minister for Northern Uganda, Grace Freedom Kayunga, has officiated the handover of food items worth $2 million from the Republic of China to United Nations World Food Programme. Grace Freedom Kayunga commended the government of China for helping the vulnerable in Karamoja region, saying it will reduce high levels of food insecurity in schools.
The school feeding does not only stop there. I think it goes a little into the households. It relieves the household, the families, of the need for food for the children and also for themselves. That is why it's important, and the government of Uganda underlines the importance of school feeding in the country. 2 years ago, the Minister of Education, First Lady Janet Museveni, moved in all regions to popularize the policy on school feeding.
Li Zhongzhang, ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Uganda, said without food, children are subjected to child labor to bring in money or food instead of concentrating on their studies. This is coupled with increased risk of child pregnancies.
His Excellency President Xi Jinping of China recently proposed a global development initiative at the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly and called on staying committed to results-oriented actions and people-centered approach to increase input in development.
He pledged China's support to Uganda's future workforce and emphasized the need of the collaboration with World Food Programme to support children to study and not to give up on school because of starvation. The take-home ration is a message to every child in Karamoja to stay in school with enough food and contribute to building the nation for the future. During the handover ceremony, World Food Programme representative to Uganda, Mr. Abdurrahman Meigag, commended China for supporting a project because when a child drops out of school, it is a tragedy to the entire nation.
No doubt that Karamoja is a place of concern, with poverty levels at 66%, 3 times the 20% of national average, and an estimated 361,000 people, 30% of the population suffering high levels of food insecurity during the lean season. These are statistics that should keep us all awake as actors in this sector.
The World Food Programme Food Project is an avenue of encouraging children to stay in school. Sudat Kai, UBC News.
Good initiative there that will keep children in the Karamoja sub-region in school. The Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Right Reverend Dr. Samuel Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, has tasked parents to embrace vocational education to uplift their communities. Archbishop Mugalu was speaking at the 5th graduation of Mengo Technical and Business Institute in Wakiso District. We have this report.
The Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Dr. Samuel Kazimba Mugalu, has reiterated the need to utilize the available vocational skilling opportunities to close employment gaps.
See vocational training as one way of really developing our country. Let me share this with you. Jesus Christ promoted vocational training. She was a carpenter. Jesus was a carpenter.
Mugalu urges graduates to be creative, relevant to themselves, the society, and utilize the skills acquired for their bright future. This was during the graduation event for Mengo Technical and Business Institute held in Nansana, Wakiso District.
We should discourage corruption. People should be encouraged to work and to be men and women of integrity. I would like also to encourage people, all Ugandans, to learn to be flexible. Flexibility is very important. Creativity is very important. Innovativeness is very important. And simplicity plus humility.
The principal Mengo Technical and Business Institute, Birungi Joshua, expressed gratitude towards government and other educational stakeholders and encouraged parents to interest their children in vocational training at early stages for employment benefits.
We train you to have skills forever and ever. I want to ask all parents to embrace technical skills, because that's when you never look for the job. Everyone who did these courses, who have these skills, they will never have a job. They will never look for the job.
Over 20,000 youth have gained vocational skills from the training center since its inception in 1988. I'm Nafka Farida and Henry Muganga.
Uganda Wildlife Education Conservation Center, formerly known as Entebezu, has launched a 6-year-long awaited book named Conservation Education for Secondary Schools in Uganda. The book aims at imparting knowledge, skills and values among the school-going learners so as to influence people's attitudes, emotions and behavior regarding sustainable use of resources. Joseph Jude Agaba from the National Curriculum Development Center officially launched the book at Uganda Wildlife Education Conservation Center, Entebbe.
During the official launch of the book, David Musingo, the manager education at UWEC, said the conservation education has over the years been conducted consciously or unconsciously in both formal and informal education system of Uganda.
Is an aid to support the curriculum in schools, that as we teach the theoretical aspects in school, we can have such bridges like this book, for which we are also going to develop a training teacher guide, how to use this book.
That's what we hope, that once we produce the national strategy, it will harmonize different efforts. As you are aware, we have so many NGOs, they get money from different sources.
According to Musingo, conservation education is being mainstreamed into the formal system by supporting the curriculum through production of education materials.
Of course, free of charge. This is a government resource. It's a government institution that is fighting hard with the partners to change attitudes, value systems, actions.
Joseph Jude Agaba from the National Curriculum Development Center says Ministry of Education and Sports is designing a new curriculum that will be used by students after reopening of schools.
And in that process, the few hitches that might be left will be corrected. But from my look through, like I mentioned before, it is addressing key issues in the curriculum that the teacher can use. So even in its current state, it's a very good book, a good resource for the teacher.
Agaba says the book will be included in the new curriculum, especially at secondary level, so that students learn more about conservation, wildlife, and tourism.
Why am I saying it's a good resource? Secondary schools today have a new curriculum, and the curriculum has certain aspects we are looking for. We are looking for acquisition of knowledge, understanding skills, values, and attitudes.
The values, why are we conserving? We are not going to achieve the goal. If we don't train that person, that wildlife, the environment is the key and is the reason as to why we survive here, we cannot achieve what we intend to do.
The book, which involves 4 volumes, will be released in phases. Other will be released in 3 months' time after validation by the National Curriculum Development Center. Lydia Chomkama, Sula Kagugube, UBC News.
Drama is standing very close.
It is coming to 34 minutes after 10 in the studios of UBC TV. We'll now take a very short break, but we'll be returning with what's happening in the world of business.
Everyone deserves more this festive season, which is why MTN Momo is giving you more Senkyu points on your MTN Momo withdrawals at agent locations. Get 150 Senkyu points for every 1,000 shillings spent in withdrawal fees. More Senkyu points means you get more free minutes, more free MBs, more free SMSs, and more free Momo Pay shopping. To use your Senkyu points, dial *141#.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Shoppers, we have a variety of items like gift hampers, foods, garments, cosmetics, and all sorts of drinks. Enjoy your shopping experience this festive season at affordable prices in our fully stocked branches in the following areas: in Tinder Stretcher Road, opposite Makerere Business School along Port Bell Road, Duster Street opposite Nakasero Market, and Garden City on Yusuf Lule Road. To all our customers and suppliers, we thank you for your continuous support. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Stay safe, wash your hands, sanitize, and wear your mask always.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV.
Come with me.
So get your GoCoder and GoTV value for 25,000 shillings to watch with the whole family. And if you're feeling extra festive, upgrade to our best package yet, GoTV Super.
Something to look forward to.
Download the My GoTV app for more information.
Super.
We all deserve a super festive season. And with GoTV, there's every reason to love it.
Introducing Learn From Home Data Bundles. Customized bundles for you and your family to study or work seamlessly from the comfort of your home. Use any of these affordable data bundles to connect to your MiFis, routers, laptops, tablets, and smartphones while avoiding unwanted internet exposure and ensuring undivided attention during online classes. Enjoy instant access to Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, and selected educational websites. Dial *175# to buy your Learn From Home bundle today. Airtel, the smartphone network. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Let's have a look now at what's happening in the world of business. Uganda's cabinet has approved a reciprocation measure for products exported from Kenya into Uganda. Now, this follows the ban on Ugandan products from accessing the Kenyan market. Some of the major Uganda export products affected are eggs, processed chicken, and milk. We have more in this report.
Yesterday, Cabinet agreed to reciprocate.
The next course of action on Kenya was disclosed by Rebecca Kadaga, the Minister of East African Affairs and the first Deputy Prime Minister.
Therefore, the Minister of Agriculture is going to identify which products to ban from Kenya. We have been very patient. We have been very we have behaved like gentle people.
According to Ms. Kadaga, the unfair treatment by Uganda's biggest trading partner in the region has gone on for too long, and therefore proactive measures must be taken to bring sanity.
So within a short time, the Minister of Agriculture would announce which products from Kenya are going to be restricted as a retaliatory measure, so that they understand what we are going through. We are looking at going more into the Comesa area. I'm aware that milk now, Uganda milk is now being sold in Zambia. Recently I went to Ghana and I came back and informed the cabinet that we should start now looking at the market in the ECOWAS. So yes, Kenya is easier because you can go by road to Kenya, but you cannot go by road to Zambia.
Ugandan eggs and processed chicken have been banned from accessing the Kenyan market. The ban went on effect in June this year.
And has been a significant blow to the Ugandan industry, as I've explained. The ban has caused prices for Uganda goods to drop significantly while the operating costs remain high. Prices of eggs, in other words, chicks and processed chicken, have dropped, while costs in terms of feed and other operational costs remain extremely high.
The Kenyans, our brothers, who are not exclusive of the industry, they are part of the industry because they sell a lot to us. So if they break the chain, I don't know if they are aware that they can also easily collapse, because they sell us the old chicks, they sell us lime, they sell us trays, poultry equipment, drugs, name it.
According to the Poultry Association of Uganda, the issue at hand is serious and needs urgent attention, especially from the political leaders. Dennis Igor for UBC News.
There is a word that is called tit for tat is a fair game. The central bank has designated a special policy on green financing, which will require all commercial banks have special arrangement of investigating in climate-related ventures. Huntington Waswa, Director Commercial Banking at Bank of Uganda, while at the annual Green Finance Dialogue, emphasized leveraging on green small and medium enterprises for climate conservation.
Following the President's approval and assent to the National Climate Change Act, Central Bank has embarked on formulating policies and regulations to guide the sector on how it can contribute on the national agenda of preserving the environment.
One of the issues that came out very clearly was that the banks did not know what to do regarding green finance applications. They're waiting for guidance, and usually the guidance relating to financial matters in the financial sector come from the Bank of Uganda.
At the annual Green Finance Dialogue by Uganda Green Enterprise Finance Accelerator, the central bank expressed gaps which commercial banks have to bridge by supporting green businesses.
Central Bank looks at its mandate is to ensure price stability and a stable financial sector. So if climate-related risks are not addressed or dealt with, then the central bank's mandate of price stability and a stable financial system gets compromised in the process.
The process of supporting green small and medium enterprises centered in the dialogue, and commercial banks are advised to harness financial literacy and initiating special green loans to the public.
Enterprise applies for a loan, let's say for $100,000 and then $33,000 will be repaid by UGEFA, and the remaining $66,000 will have to be repaid by the SME. And that of course also reduces the total interest rate.
Seen also renewable energy proposals. We have seen organic agribusinesses.
According to the central bank proposal, it is time to take the lead by accelerating bankable green small and medium enterprises and creating pathways to ensure that green businesses are supported for the achievement of the National Development Plan. Abdul Nasir Lubwama, UBC News.
The Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Matiaka Seija, has advised money lenders, especially commercial banks, to provide a legalized system of monitoring businesses that they lend money to. The appeal will enable bankers and money lenders to compare on whether the fund can be recovered or not, depending on the success of the business. Minister Kaseija was launching Uganda Development Bank special programs that are set to improve SMEs.
Uganda's banking industry seeks to provide convenience and security to tech-savvy customers.
When it comes to those times when you've forgotten the debit card at home, there is no need to move around without an option to get cash. You will simply use that phone that you have and be able to access funds at the ATM.
On the other hand, it comes in handy in the fight against the spread of coronavirus.
We are aware that the pandemic is really a problem, and touch points have been identified as one of the areas which would spread, the virus. So what we are looking at is to say, how can we make sure that our customers are able to engage with us with a high degree of safety and also convenience.
The cardless cash withdrawal allows customers to use a QR code generated from the Absa banking application on any smartphone device.
Once you're in the app, remember there is a security question that you answer. That is also another security feature. Then when you're in there, it's you having your phone, you've chosen the ATM QR option. You're going to be able to scan a code that is here at the ATM. That is also security. And then you proceed with the other options. So it's very secure, very quick, and very convenient for our customers.
In the recent years, Uganda's banking industry has made significant investments in digital innovation and infrastructure to improve service delivery and customer experience. Charlotte Amuge for UBC News.
And we do apologize for the mix-up of those stories there, but that just concluded story was about Absa Bank Uganda that has unveiled a new cardless solution with minimal contact made in ATM machines. And besides minimizing the risk of cards being compromised, the innovation is also geared at curbing the spread of coronavirus. We do apologize. But now let's move on. And as Uganda joined the rest of the world to commemorate the Universal Health Coverage Day 2021, government has been challenged to implement the National Health Insurance Scheme. Let's have a watch.
These stakeholders are either people with influence, access to people in power, professionals within their different areas, very knowledgeable, and some of them are frontline advocates, and we need them to take this message forward.
The Deputy Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Mohammed Ali Waiswa, noted that as religious leaders meet many challenges in regard to health, saying that their capacity is not enough to handle every need since they depend on donations that are not permanent.
We as religious leaders, we are doing all the best that we can to talk to those in government, in parliament, to see to it that they actually appreciate this.
Many East African countries have embraced free health insurance and their nations, but Mufti Waiswa wonders why Uganda is still lagging behind to follow the suit.
It is done nationally, it will be easier that each and particular individual persons will at least be able to be provided with health care and be provided with the necessary help.
Vice Chairperson Committee of Health Joel Sebikali says the health scheme bill was supposed to be passed by the 10th Parliament, but because of the 2021 elections, the President did not assent to it.
And we are committed to that, but we haven't reached the level of the 15% of the national total budget. We are now at 7%, 7.4%, but what we need as a committee is to go at least, if we can reach 10%, of the total population as allocated to Minister of Health, then we shall have at least gone at a level that we are expecting to go to 15%.
Sebikali told the congregation that the efforts are underway to have the bill passed by 2022. Short of that, private members' bill will be initiated.
The government has been recommended for her efforts to revamp cooperatives and SACCOs, which to experts have uplifted livelihoods of farmers. Let's get more in this report.
It is over 108 years since cooperatives were established. The present-day district of Mubende in 1913 by colonial administrators with the aim of supporting and encouraging farmers to produce cash crops like coffee, cotton, among other agricultural products. This gave birth to cooperative societies. However, in 1961, government embarked on a Marshall Plan to encourage Ugandan farmers to join cooperative societies. Among the established cooperative societies was the Uganda Cooperative Alliance, the umbrella body of all cooperatives in the country. To date, Uganda Cooperative Alliance has supported many cooperatives and SACCOs. This has enabled various districts to form farmers' unions. A case in point is the Kampala Metropolitan SACCO Union, which is comprised of 6 districts of Wakiso, Mukono, Buvuma, Kayunga, Buyikwe and Kampala. However, a team led by Hajibwanika Haruna visited Kangulumira Cooperative Enterprise, Kangulumira Zone to Ezimbe Group to benchmark the performance of thriving projects which involved gardens of pineapples, coffee plantations, maize and bananas.
nga baziwolera ku ssente eza wansi nga bawerera ku 10%. So tulina essuubi nti singa mukama waffe minisita n'abazze wano n'alaba nga asobola okubayamba nga bwe tugenda okutwalayo report kijja kutuyamba basobole okuba nga babawola ssente.
The chairman of Kangulumira Cooperative Enterprise, Yahaya Wafana, urged government to support them with modern value addition dryers on loan.
These dryers we are using, they are weather dependent. If it is during a rainy season, we don't process. So we really encourage the government at least calm down. Maybe at least if it can support us in the way of maybe giving us some of the well-improved dryers so that we can go ahead with the processing.
However, some of the farmers here applauded government for revamping cooperatives. I'm Nafka Farida and Salongo Kasivante.
Everyone deserves more this festive season, which is why MTN Momo is giving you more Seku points on your MTN Momo withdrawals at agent locations. Get 150 Seku points for every 1,000 shillings spent in withdrawal fees. More Seku points means you get more free minutes, more free MBs, more free SMSs, and more free Momo Pay shopping. To use your Seku points, dial *141#.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
I am one of the millions of people who have been vaccinated. And today I want to ask you to choose to be vaccinated so that we can all go back to enjoying the Uganda we all love. A country that is one of the most entrepreneurial in the world with the most friendly people. A country where we can do business with anyone at any time. A country that is free of COVID-19. So, get vaccinated today
in any of the verified health centers
and let's bring business back to Uganda. COVID-19 vaccines are free of charge, safe and available.
Invest in your health. Invest in Uganda. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Investment Authority.
Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs.
Nyombe Maruse Ronald, Ngazwarua, Micholu Star, Alo Aro Toi, Hash, Mi Daily, Milo Airtime Je, Micho Mi MB's data Je, then Milo Choti Milisu in the Banlu Sender Abalumi Kolu. Customer can let me call early or many in the sender.
The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
I'm growing up, I'm growing into every moment.
Thanks, Mom.
Nurture the moment with Minute Maid Delight, now available in apple flavor in the 400ml ready-to-drink pack.
Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs.
Nganironganya Kati Mariam, in your Lantoro, Tabedo Jinja, Tadio Star 185, Tachulo Rigo TV for a month. After 2 days, your Airtel Jobinojo Goran Simus and now winning 100,000.
The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back. Let's have a look now at some items on sports. And the first ever two nations baseball series between Uganda and Kenya has ended. The three-day encounter was hosted at the Uganda-Japan Friendship National Stadium in Gayaza.
The Kenya national baseball team has completed a three-day series against Uganda at the Uganda-Japan Friendship National Stadium in Gayaza. The series was in both the under-23 and senior national teams, with Uganda winning all three games at both levels.
I like the quality of playing. The players have really shown that they still have the knowledge about the sport. Their physicalities are not yet that good, but yes, we know that with time, once we get back to the fields fully, we shall be able to do all this.
Though the Kenyans lost, the lessons learned will enable better next time round, especially with this now turned into an annual home and away Mount Elgon series, effective next year.
My Kenyan team is extremely delighted to participate in this Mount Elgon tournament that is happening in Gayanza, Kampala. And this is an indication that the game of baseball is still alive in East Africa, and we are going to cover miles and miles through the efforts that are being put together by the two countries to encourage the growth and development of baseball.
The standards exhibited by the players vis-a-vis the situation as a result of COVID-19 has impressed many, notably former Uganda baseball president Dennis Kasozi.
Whereas Uganda, we had a few challenges within this game, but we are seeing Kenya improving each and every day. So, which is very good for this nation, which is very good for the East African country.
The Kenyans lost 20-0, 21-2 and 26-6 to the senior Uganda team, while the visiting under-23 team fell 26-0, 18-1 and 15-0. John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting.
Thanks, Barnes, for that story there, and of course baseball taking root in the country. Gymnastics Association of Uganda has started a program that aims at instilling the art of the sport into youngsters. Now, this is as a result of a Federation of International Gymnastics coaching course at which several Ugandan tactical minds benefited high-level training. One of the attendees at that coaching course, Yiga Mustafa, is the brains behind the first ever gymnastics exhibition that has attracted over 50 kids. It was hosted at the M. Lisada Center in Nsambya, a Kampala capital city suburb, and witnessed the youngsters benefit level 1 and 2 training. Gymnastics Association of Uganda President Harriet Ayer believes such is the way to go if Uganda is to improve its athletes' base. She promises the project to grow nationwide, especially next year, with creation of database for athletes and clubs high on the agenda. The president also promised to utilize connections she acquired during an international congress in Turkey to grow the sport that severely lack infrastructure. And that was the sports segment, and we've almost come to the end of this bulletin. But before we leave you, let's have a look at our top stories.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
President Yoweri Museveni campaigns for NRM candidate in Kayunga District. A Minister of Education and Sports trains over 14,000 head teachers. Uganda reciprocates on Kenya for banning its products. And in sports, a strong start for Bulemezi Mawokota in Butikiro Group 2021 Masaza Cup.
Was brought to you by Everywhere you go, MTN.
To 11 in the studios of UBC TV. We thank you so much for having kept us company. And on sign language, it has been Elizabeth Nakakoni, and I am Rukidi Edward Kiijanangoma, wishing you a blessed night and catch you tomorrow.
Also have enough air to
It is intellectually engaging.
and you can only become a leader when there are problems.
I like that.
The same applies to
to Rwanda, Burundi. So what are we federating?
Whether rats from another country can be, I mean, somebody must be there to hold everybody accountable.
But at the moment, we would rather deal with what we have, make it right.
First of all, we as elites of Uganda, we have made Museveni the issue. I can tell him Museveni is not the problem of Uganda. The problems of Uganda are much deeper. We can change the next 20 presidents and we'll still be this roundabout.
Deeply incisive.
The different political forces that we have in the country, in the country, we don't seem to really have achieved that minimum political consensus over certain things.
Authentically symbolic and insightful. Behind the Headlines, every Wednesday at 10 p.m. with Charles Odongto. All on your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
This week on UBC.
With me is Rita Asimwe, who's going to tell us a whole lot more. She's a sports lady, athlete, of course.
When I got in Lugogo, I find my cousin. He's called Leon Senyangi. So I met him, he's like, Rita, what are you doing here? And I'm like, no, they told me there are games here. I don't even know what they are. Yes, my badminton, para badminton, CG1.
So you didn't even know?
No, I didn't know because,
played,
I'd never played. I know badminton has never been a part of my games. I realized if I look at what society thinks of me, I will not be going anywhere, trust me. I would not leave my house or live anywhere and push. Because I would not have the courage to say walk to someone or to any office and say, can I have something to do?
Persistence is something that is very key.
Fear not to fail, but also don't dwell on failure.
This weekend, Youth of Purpose.
How can we be so proud of our identity as Africans?
As soon as you give me a crew and someone says, hey, I'm Steve Smith from CNN, I'm going to bang a kanzu so that your whole crew can see I'm a unique artist from Uganda and I'm patriotic.
The youth in Kampala are the pillars, normally they are the pinnacle, and they're always the example of all the youth around the country. So it's better to have smart youth in terms of thinking, in terms of talking, in terms of action, and whatever they do.
Patriotism is a necessity for any country. It is something that must be deliberately designed to ensure that our young people acquire the required aspects that are required of a good citizen or a responsible citizen.
Uganda first.
The fresh air you breathe when you're a couple of kilometers outside Kampala. The mountains of Elgon singing to us. The Nyeru Rock calling on to us to climb it. The Imbalu dancers waiting in the line for us to watch.